Testing, test, 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 test. I don't hear myself. Testing. Not coming through. Sherry doesn't. It's working. Okay. Oh, now I hear it. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning. We're doing things a little differently this morning, so get ready. Yeah. So after these pre-service brief announcements, we will go right into our service with the bell ringing. And then, despite what it says in your order of service, we will actually the choir will sing to us before I say the words of welcome. We say the words of welcome together. So first, I want to remind you, or tell you if you're new, take a quick look around the sanctuary to locate the nearest exit sign. In the unlikely event of an emergency, please proceed calmly toward that exit or your backup one and head toward the parking lot. If an evacuation becomes necessary, please keep an eye out for other folks who may have mobility challenges or just be unfamiliar with the building layout. Our community takes care of one another. And a reminder that the choir will sing immediately after the bell rings, and they will be entering from our fellowship hall with the great acoustics. So if you're standing, stand back, they're coming through. Every flower is beautiful. So good morning officially. My name is Jean Larson. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm your worship associate this morning. Please take a moment to put your mind, spirit, and cell phones in worship mode. We welcome everyone here and online to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Roanoke. We're glad you're with us. So, those of you who are here, please take a moment to turn or stand if you wish to and greet those joining us online. Anyone online who wishes to share your joys and concerns during the Lifelines portion of the service, please put them in the chat in the next 15 minutes. Yeah, okay, thank you. So we begin with our land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that our church resides on the traditional lands of the Tutelo and Monacan nations and was later, no, I'm supposed to let you sing first, aren't I? Are you good? Sorry, my bad. Because the land acknowledgement is important, right? Traditional lands of the Tutelo and Monacan nations and was later farmed and developed through slave labor. We recognize and respect the ongoing connection to this land by generations of Black, Indigenous, and other people of color. May our gratitude and fellowship here echo and honor that rich history. Now please join me in reciting our words of welcome. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you express your identity, whatever your situation in life, whatever your experience of the holy, as you come seeking love, your presence here is a gift. Whether you are filled with sadness or overflowing with joy, needing to be alone with yourself or eager to engage with others, all who welcome all are welcome here. And our covenant, let us be a force. We commit to supporting each other with respect and direct communication as we work in community to explore spiritual growth and to be a force for good in the world.
A lot of our music this morning uses roses as a theme. You might have recognized what is traditionally a Christmas carol, Lo, How a Rose E'er Blooming. It's a wonderful image of renewal even in the coldest time of the year. So we're going to teach you a flower song that is in our hymnal, but you don't need the hymnal. We're going to sing it for you. The words are going to come up in a minute, and then we'll sing it together. And then because you all are so good, we're going to do it in a round. All right? So each of you, each half, stage half, piano half, you have half the choir to sing with you, which means there are no excuses. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Happy Flower Day. Do we have those words? Perfect. And you even have the music. All right, Ash, welcome Ash Capolero. Hi, Ash. Cool. So here's how it goes. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my woe will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will... Good, sing it again. I know this rose will open. I know my soul will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. So now we're going to do it in a round. We're going to start here, and after our first phrase, you all will come in and start at the beginning, and then we'll end beautifully at the end. And as I say every time we try to sing, if you're not sure, if you're tone deaf, just, I know this rose. We pick songs where a note in the chord works at any time in the song. All right? So just find a note that works and stick with it. Here we go. Baby steps towards music reading. And I know this rose will open. I know my fears will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my soul will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will... Sing that line one more time. I know this rose will open. Hey, yes! All right, so next time we can divide into 3 of the 4 parts. And by next flower communion, oh, I can't wait. Thank you.
Thank you, choir. That was my request. So blame me, I guess. I love that song, and thank you. It's a yes. No, that was beautiful. Thank you. Good morning. Morning. I am the Reverend Jen Raffensperger. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am honored to serve as the minister of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Roanoke. Welcome to you on this beautiful flower communion morning. Happy Mother's Day to those of you for whom that is a welcome message this morning. I just want to note the complications that are inherent in this holiday for many of us, for many, many reasons. But I would be remiss not to say and note its existence. And welcome, if this is your first time attending a flower communion. This is a beautiful annual Unitarian Universalist ritual, a celebration of the unique and beautiful gifts of friendship and flowers. So speaking of friendship, in that spirit, so we have two readings. We've got our opening words and our reading today come from a slender chapbook of poetry by Ross Gay and Amy Nkuza-Matottle called Lace and Pyrite. These two poets, who are passionate gardeners, are great friends with each other as well. Both of their poems invoke a lot of gardening images and images of the natural world. This small book is a collection of poems written in correspondence to one another throughout the 4 seasons of the year as the poets observe their own gardens in all of those seasons. At the end of the book, I have it up here if anybody's curious about it, is printed a transcript of a conversation between the two poets, and so our opening words are a quote from that transcript. I am spending more and more time studying joy, in part because I suspect it is connected to, or one of the expressions of deep awareness of, love. And in part, too, because I think we have an obligation, like an ethical obligation, to study what we love, what we want to preserve and keep with us and grow. Joy strikes me as one of the ways we know we are in the midst of such things. It's like a finger pointing to the thing and saying, take care of this, saying, sing about this. That might be a gathering of beloveds, or it might mean someone giving you directions, both of you using languages you do not speak fluently. It might mean the green birds in Barcelona, or the sound of kids' voices from somewhere you are not sure of. It might mean the creak like a xylophone when all the frogs hop in. Joy strikes me. It is funny that I am inclined to say that joy strikes me. This is a good strickenness, trust me. As, I don't quite know how to say it, because I was going to say a kind of fabric between us, but it's more like the way fabric holds itself together. Joy alerts us to the moments when our alienation diminishes or even disappears. It reminds us of our wholeness, our togetherness, which is the truth. I will now invite Jean to light our chalice as we join in this ritual with Unitarian Universalist churches, congregations, and communities across the nation and the world in kindling the flame of our shared faith. May the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve you, O Spirit of love. The flower communion service, which we are about to celebrate, had its origins it was first celebrated in 1923 by Dr. Norbert Čapek, founder of the modern Unitarian movement in Czechoslovakia. On the last Sunday before the summer recess of the Unitarian Church in Prague, all the children and adults participated in this colorful ritual, which gives concrete expression to the humanity-affirming principles of our liberal faith. When the Nazis took control of Prague in 1940, they found Dr. Čapek's gospel of the inherent worth and beauty of every human person to be, as Nazi court records show, too dangerous for the Reich for him to be allowed to live. Dr. Čapek was sent to Dachau, where he was killed the next year. This gentle man suffered a cruel death, but his message of human hope and decency lives on through his flower communion. We will hear some of Dr. Čapek's original prayers, lightly edited for a modern sensibility, to help us remember the principles and dreams for which he died, and to reinvigorate our own commitment to our relationships within this community and within our larger interdependent web. So in our tradition, anyone can bless, and the flowers are all over the place. I can't put a hand on all of them. So if you feel comfortable doing so, reach a hand towards the flowers, and I am going to speak words of blessing from the first flower communion. And if you're online and you want to reach toward the screen, feel free. Infinite Spirit of life, we ask thy blessing on these, thy messengers of fellowship and love. May they remind us, amid diversities of knowledge and of gifts, to be one in desire and affection and devotion to thy holy will. May they also remind us of the value of comradeship, of doing and sharing alike. May we cherish friendship as one of thy most precious gifts. May we not let awareness of another, whatever we can do, great or small, the efforts of all of us are needed to do thy work in this world. You can put your hands down. Thank you. So now it is the time for us to share in this ritual of flower communion. Everyone that's brought a flower, it's probably already up here. If it's not, that's cool. You can put one in and take one out when you come up. I'm going to ask that we will have some beautiful music accompaniment, but I'm going to ask that you approach the vases with some silence and some reverence, a sense of how important it is for each of us to address our world and one another with gentleness, justice, and love. I ask that you select a flower that is different from the one that you brought, that particularly appeals to you or strikes your fancy. And as you select that flower, noting its particular shape and beauty, remember to handle it carefully. It is a gift that someone else has brought for you. It represents that person's unique humanity and therefore deserves your kindest touch. You are now invited to come forward to select a flower. As we begin, I will first read a lightly updated version of the flower communion prayer, and then we will hear a gift of music. So you may begin to come forward while I read the prayer, and then we will have the gift of music. I don't want us to sing over top of one another. If you can come up to either table, you can, with this, there's flowers on either side, please feel free to come forward. In the name of Providence, which implants in the seed the future of the tree and in the hearts of all people the longing for living in human love, in the name of the highest in whom we move and who makes the parents, the offspring, and the chosen family what they are, in the names of sages and great religious leaders who sacrifice their lives to hasten the coming of peace and justice, let us renew our resolution sincerely to be real siblings, regardless of any kind of bar which estranges one from another. In this holy resolution may we be strengthened, knowing that we are God's family, that one Spirit, the Spirit of love, unites us, and may we endeavor for a more perfect and more joyful life. Amen.
Abandon, entouré d'abandon, tendresse touchante aux tendresses, c'est ton intérieur qui sans cesse se caresse. Dirait-on, 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 dirait-on. Se caresse en soi-même par son propre reflet éclairé. Ainsi tu inventes le thème du narcisse exaucé. dire, dire, to, dire, to, dire, to. Dire, 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 to, dire, 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 to. Dire, dire, to, dire, to, dire, to. Dire, dire, to, dire, to. Dire, dire, to. Dire, 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 to.
That was sweet. So our reading this morning is an untitled poem by Ross Gay from the same short collection that Rev Jen took our opening words from. This poem was part of the conversation for the season of spring. Maybe you're right. Let us stop explaining. I saw those ants too. Soon they'll slurp caves into the handful of apples that come on the pipsqueak tree out back, or scurry dizzy on the sugar glazing, the sweetest bean I've ever tasted, the beans themselves tonguing through the spent cherry bush. Terrified as I am, and I am, the bumblebees furrow the pursed and purple lips of false indigo for the dusty blush, and I want to go make an alleluia of my own simple body. Not to mention the cup plants just coming up out back can hold mouthfuls of wet despite the months-long drought. All is never lost. Some of what remains of my father swims amidst the breathing roots of the plum tree. You could almost see him look out from the leaves' stomata in spring, or his fingerprints pressed into the delicate whorls of the young bark. And when the tree makes its first fruit next year or the next, it won't only be in dreams he's back. I think I too will be so lucky someday. Someday, I think, so too will you be.
Thank you for that beautiful reading, Jean, of that lovely poem. On the Roanoke River Greenway, between Cook Drive and Ariel Way, behind a building that houses the Barrows office furniture store, there is this tremendous profusion of wildflowers. They are intentionally cultivated, though cultivated is probably a fancier word than this process requires. I believe it's sometimes called seed bombing, where a large clutch of assorted seeds are scattered, and the result is a wildly cacophonous and joyful mishmash of colors, shapes, and sizes. And they do this every year. I discovered it 2 summers ago when I first came to Roanoke, and it's become one of my favorite things about the season. It's a small thing, ultimately. The flowers don't need any particular tending. It probably saves them the work of mowing for the small slope leading from the rear of their building down to the land by the river where so many of us walk, bike, or stroll past. Roll past. Stroll and roll. Those flowers are like grace. They are an unlooked for, unasked for surfeit of beauty, of glad profusion, of the kind of riotous abundance that lifts the heart and gladdens the spirit. I think we have an obligation, like an ethical obligation, to study what we love, what we want to preserve, and keep with us and grow. Joy strikes me as one of the ways we know we are in the midst of such things. It's like a finger pointing to the thing and saying, take care of this, saying, sing about this. The annual flower communion ritual is one of my very favorite Unitarian Universalist traditions. I love seeing the riot of colors and forms and shapes. I love the intermingling of scents and the way we bring some flowers in plastic from the store, some in paper towels from the garden, some just loose from the grace of volunteer seeds strewn along our path. I love the powerful story of Dr. Norbert Čapek, whose deeply held values led him to create this ritual and ultimately turned him into an enemy of the Third Reich. I'm also a great admirer of his wife, the Reverend Maya Čapek, who was also a Unitarian minister and responsible for bringing this ritual to the United States in the 1940s following her husband's death. It was, in part, a way to keep her husband's ministry and memory alive. When we engage in this beloved annual ritual as Unitarians and Unitarian Universalists have practiced for over 100 years, we are mindfully cultivating an attention to joy, to the gifts of friendship. We invite everyone present to bless these flowers and to bless one another, as each of us has individual gifts and beauties, and as we know that this riotous profusion of all those gifts and beauties together is greater than the sum of its parts. Take care of this. Sing about this. When we enact this ritual, we are also calling to mind both the gifts and the heartaches of the story of Norbert and Maya Čapek, ministers who wanted to tend the hearts and spirits of those in their care, ministers who caught the attention of forces of evil wielded by human hands and paid a terrible price for their audacious faith practice. Their practice called for recognition of the inherent dignity and worthiness and beauty of all peoples, an idea too radical to be tolerated in a murderous fascist state. Take care of this. Sing about this. All is never lost. Some of what remains of my father swims amidst the breathing roots of the plum tree. You could almost see him look out from the leaves' stomata in spring, or his fingerprints pressed into the delicate whorls of the young bark. And when the tree makes its first fruit next year or the next, it won't only be in dreams he's back. I think I, too, will be so lucky one someday. Someday, I think, so too will you be. We coexist daily in a world that surprises us with joy and beauty and with tragedy and terror. This is our life. The flowers that the Čapeks held up as messengers of grace and love now remind us of those gifts, yes, and the forces, and they remind us of those forces in the world that serve to separate us from those gifts. All is never lost. This poem is only one of several works by Ross Gay that eloquently, even joyfully, eulogizes his father. The beauty of the plum tree and the taste of its eventual fruit exists alongside and beneath and between and among the sorrow of loss, the ashes of a loved one planted at the same time, the root ball sent gently in soil that is more than soil. We cultivate joy in our life right alongside sorrow. The plum tree erupts into blossom not despite, but because of that more than soil into which it was planted. We ask a lot of flowers. We place them in the hands of brides and at the heads of graves. We arrange them in arches and scatter their petals. In Victorian times, in Western civilization, an elaborate language of flowers, floriography, arose so that humans could send flowers to communicate some extremely distinct messages. I once sent white tulips to a young man I had a crush on, when I was also a young woman, to be clear, hoping the magical alchemy of this grand gesture would turn our friendship into something else. Not only did this not work, I later learned that white tulips, which I selected because I thought they were classy, were the flowers to send to ask forgiveness. Oops. So, after I had decided, when I was no longer a young woman, after I had decided to pursue the Unitarian Universalist ministry, knowing that it would mean quitting my corporate job and going to seminary, changing my life in ways I'd barely begun to understand, I found myself thinking about my father. He had a vocation of his own, serving as a permanent deacon in the Catholic Church. He died before I found Unitarian Universalism, but I wondered what it would have been like to tell him of my plans. So that year, when I had really made the decision to do it, when it was time for flower communion in my home congregation, I thought, why not tell him? I took 2 flowers that Sunday, one for me and one for him. After church, I drove to the cemetery where my father is buried, and I put one of the flowers on his grave. But I didn't rely on floriography or some elaborate language of flowers to say what was in my heart. I just told him. I planted that seed there the way Ross Gay planted his plum tree. Take care of this. Sing about this. It is a dance, always. The way we cultivate joy within sorrow, the way we celebrate love and loss and all the range of human emotion and experience with a simple gesture, the gift of a flower. I would be dishonest if I did not note that today is a particular dance of joy and grief for me. I did take 2 flowers today, one for me and one for my mother. I cannot drive to place this on her grave next to my father today, but I can hold it in my heart as a messenger. The flower can speak to both my grief and my joy that is larger than words. Each of you here today participating in this ritual is holding your own unique set of emotions and experiences. It is that richness and diversity of experience in every one of us that we honor in this ritual. These flowers are messengers of grace and to remind us of our friends, the trusted, beloved ones who don't always get the special holidays. How many of us have bought bought flowers for a friend just because, not for an occasion, not for a birthday, not for graduation, just to say, you, my friend, are awesome? Have you bought flowers for a friend just for no reason? I mean, okay, I've done it, but I haven't done it anywhere near enough. I mean, I could probably count the number of times I've done it on one hand. Maybe we take the time to consider the gifts all those friends who have cried with you in sorrow and laughed with you in joy. Maybe we can consider who we'd like to send flowers to, whether literal or figurative. We know allergies get in the way sometimes, right? Who would you like to surprise with joy? Joy strikes me. It is funny that I'm inclined to say that joy strikes me. This is a good strickenness, trust me. As I don't quite know how to say it because I was going to say a kind of fabric between us, but it's more like the way fabric holds itself together. Joy alerts us to the moments when our alienation diminishes or even disappears. It reminds us of our wholeness, our togetherness, which is the truth. Our wholeness, our togetherness, the truth of who we are, the gifts we bring to the world, this riot of color and presentation. No matter that we appear gaudy or plain, tall or short, creeping vine or single bloom growing directly upright, there is room for all of us. In fact, the more of us there are, the more of our colors and shapes and sizes and scents and postures together in bright profusion, the more beautiful we become. Our alienation diminishes or even disappears. We must pay attention to joy and cultivate it because we know there are other harvests within the human heart. You created this tableau, now somewhat picked over, but you created this tableau together and this tableau together today. Think about the profusion of gifts represented here within this room. Think about the beautiful people that brought these flowers here. Think about the beautiful world from which these gorgeous messengers sprang forth. Think how when we gather, we too can be riotously beautiful. Think about the way joy surprises us. Think about the way you can surprise others with joy. Take care of each other. Sing about each other. So may it be.
This song happens to be in our hymnal. It's one that Norbert Chapek wrote both words and music to, and it has the lovely feeling of a folk song. Color and fragrance, magical rhythm, sweet changing music will change us with them. Life within life, in a light gently glowing. Surely you seem to be God's vision growing. Delicate beings, lace wing and sparrow, in field and forest, clover and yarrow, life greeting life with a light brightly glowing. None are too small to be God's vision growing.
Thank you for the beautiful gift of music. We have come to that time in our service each week where we invite you into generosity. The work and the love and the cultivation of joy of this congregation is not possible without the time, talents, and treasure of so many. The ushers will now gratefully accept the offering.
Silent song, give me the splendid silent song, with all his beams full dazzling, with all his beams full dazzling, dazzling. Give me the juicy autumn fruit, give me the juicy autumn fruit, ripe and red from the orchard. Give me fresh corn and wheat, beautiful flowers at sunrise, where I may walk undisturbed, where I may walk undisturbed. Give me the splendid silent sun. Give me the splendid silent sun.
It's gorgeous. Thank you for that gift. Thank you for your gifts. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Terry Smith, a member of the Caring Committee, and I'm here to share this week's Lifelines, the joys and concerns shared by members of our congregation. First, with a personal heartache, I want to report that Dick Lallman passed away this past week. Please keep him and Judy especially, in your thoughts and prayers. On a happy note, Claire and Wesley moved into their new house in Roanoke. Yay, let's hear it for the mortgagees. And finally, Lee Fairbanks, as you know, is having attention to his cardiac troubles. They attempted to place a stent last week, but there was too much calcification to proceed, so they're going to go back to the drawing board and find something else. But he's feeling hale and hearty and okay with this development, as Annie, his wife, reports. Please keep them both in your thoughts. And I want to remind you that if you have a joy or concern you'd like to share, you can put it in the our book, which is kept on the altar during and after the service and in the hallway next to the name tag board for the rest of the week. And now I'll invite you, if you would like to come forward and light a candle to signify a silent joy or concern in your heart. This is the time. Please use both sides of the altar. May our prayers be heard and our thoughts be lifted.
I will light this candle today for all of the friends that maybe you haven't ever just gotten flowers, literal and metaphorical, for. Maybe think about surprising someone with joy. Bring them to mind with joy as well. And this candle, as I light each week for those who are joining us online, though you are not physically present with us in the sanctuary, your spirit is felt here with us. And now I invite you into a few moments for prayer and for reflection. If you want to make yourself a little comfortable in your seat, if it helps you to put your feet maybe flat on the floor or close your eyes or soften your gaze. Infinite Spirit of life, God of many names, these flowers, your messengers, remind us of the many gifts that our world contains, even when it feels hard to notice them. We have given deliberate attention to beauty today. We have given deliberate attention not just to the visual beauty of a flower, but have thought about the beauty of the people we care most about within our hearts. Knowing that each of us contains a multitude of emotions, experiences. We are carrying weights none of us can see. We are experiencing joys that may feel too sacred to share out loud. We honor in this ritual those things we carry within our hearts in silence, as well as those we speak aloud. Maybe after today, look at every person you encounter and consider them as you would an individual flower. Think how riotous and beautiful we can be together. So may it be.
Now, as we draw close to the end of our time together in worship this week, we turn our attention from the joys and concerns within our hearts and to the work of the week ahead. We'll begin with a few announcements. Next Sunday, May 17th, is our annual picnic potluck, and it's right here. We are also going to welcome the Reverend Dr. David Jones and all the wonderful people of Williams Memorial Baptist Church to worship that morning. Bonnie Rich, where are you, Bonnie? Bonnie, there's Bonnie, yay. Bonnie Rich, who is the lead of our brand new fellowship committee, has asked for some volunteers to help with receiving the food and cleaning up. So please see Bonnie or check the weekly update that gets emailed to you for details. Also, we're gearing up for our annual meeting on Sunday, June 7th, first Sunday. Today, following this service, the board will hold an information center in the Olin Room down at the end of the hall past the name tag board on the proposed changes and updates to our congregational bylaws, which is a really important part of what we will vote on together on June 7th. If you can't stay for the meeting today, you're welcome to send comments to the board clerk, Lynn Yates, before Friday, May 22nd.
Thank you, Jean. And yes, before you sit down, I will invite you now to extinguish our chalice. As again, we join in this activity with Unitarian Universalist churches, congregations, and communities around the nation and the world this morning, extinguishing the literal flame of our faith that resides in our sanctuaries, knowing that we carry it forward into the week ahead within our hearts. And then I'm about to do the benediction, but Bonnie gave me an important update after I sent the letter to, so there is going to be a sign-up sheet in the fellowship hall today. So if you can help out a little bit next week with our potluck, it's a potluck, it's a picnic. I've heard the desires to go back to a park. There's some accessibility concerns. We have lots of things. But if the weather is beautiful next week, We will, of course, use the grounds as well as the building to enjoy our time with one another. Bring something delicious. I am not sure what I am making, but I will commit to making something, not just buying something, she said, crossing her fingers. I'm going to try. I'm going to try my best. And as I give you the benediction, the good words for the week ahead, again, I simply remind you to be on the lookout and to make your heart a place where joy may be cultivated. So may it be.
We have another flower communion hymn to end today. It's Spring Has Now Unwrapped the Flowers, and we would love for you to stand and join us if you are able. Spring has now unwrapped the flowers, day is fast reviving, life in all her growing powers toward the light is striving. Gone the iron touch of cold, winter time and frost time, seedlings working through the mold now make up for lost time. Herb and plant that winter long slumbered at the leisure now be stirring green and strong, find in growth their pleasure. All the world with beauty fills, gold the green enhancing. Flowers make me among the hills, set the meadows dancing. Thank you.
Go in peace.
Yeah.
That was
Should I say that? Go in peace?
Yeah, go in peace.
Go in peace. Or at least go. Go. Go already. Is it too much for y'all?
I think it's pointed directly where I think it is.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Okay. You want to see? Okay. Oh, I got you. Thank you. Oh, I see. And if worse comes to worse, we got Wednesday. Yeah, Nancy.